Any of you knuckleheads out there familiar with a woman named Madame Curie? She was a scientist that worked with people that did, nuclear radiation stuff, atomic weapons and shit like that, and died from radiation poisoning, right? And a lot of people, see her as a scientific hero. It's like, okay, that's a psychopath. That's a socio-psychopath. Who would work on something for a weapon to maintain status quo for economics that is so devastating and so disgusting that no one in their right mind would ever want to use it, and then use it and then die studying it and saying that this was a great person that did things for science for the betterment of humankind, right? And Sheldon's character, on The Big Bang Theory, Caesar is one of the, when he talks to those high school girls, she died from radiation poisoning with her psychotic husband, you're like going, oh yeah, he's just like Jesus Christ and Muhammad and Moses, right? Judah Krishnamurti, right? Now, when people get up without fear paralyzing them, okay, to try to convince you to understand natural laws and what is required to observe and obey natural laws for us to continue life in a faithful, loving, truthful, beautiful manner, right? When someone's that good, right? Now, if you write it down in a book, and then someone today is doing like that person, okay, but the person in the book is your God, and every time the person who gets up and does the right thing, say, why aren't you doing it with me? And then you keep reading that old book and saying, oh, my God's better than you. Yeah, no, I did that in school when I was a kid. My dad's better than your dad. Remember that? Remember that my dad's better than your dad? Remember that? My dad can beat up your dad. Yeah, my dad's better than your dad. Remember that? We all did that. Stupid. Not all of us, but a lot of us did. Some of us didn't do that because some of us were like abused as children and their dad left. And, like Bob Cummins, with that one teacher, what does your dad do around? He lays around a lot. Where's your dad? He's a pusher. He pushes up daisies, right? And I started laughing. I was the only one in the class that laughed. Everybody else just sat there mortified. And I kept telling the teacher, why don't you just let it go? And she told me to mind my own business and that she was the teacher and I should and I was like, why didn't you just leave him alone? Go to the next person. She's like, one of us is, she was from like New York or New Jersey. She was, one of us is teaching this class and you're not it, right? And I was like, apparently he doesn't want to answer the question. Just go to the next person. That's what I kept telling her. She got mad at me and then he did. He lays around a lot. What's your dad do? Nothing. She goes, Robert, come on. And I'm like sitting there, just go to the next person. And then he goes, okay, he's a pusher. And she goes, what? That's horrible. He goes, yeah, he pushes up daisies. I was like, I told the lady, the teacher, like, you might want to let it go and go to the next person. And she kept yelling and chastising me. After that, me and Bob became friends, and she never, she just shut up. She never apologized. She didn't take us to the principal and say, this young man's interrupting the classroom and he's being bad, like I've had happen to me numerous times when I was a kid, remember that principal and teacher in Tooele that paddled me and laughed because I taught the kids Mexican words and a lot of more cuss words. And they thought it was funny, said what a bad kid I was. I was asking too many questions and distracting the other kids. And yeah, that was horrible. I've had lots of things like that happen, but that happens to me like every day, right? And it's still happening to me, right? NASA, And you have these scientists, these scientists, these astronauts, they went up into space, right? They were up in space for 9 months, which is horrible for the human mind and body. Okay. But these people are, Sputnik, they're a dog and a monkey put up there by rich people to see what happens to people's minds and bodies in space in case we need to go there to develop nuclear radiation to mass murder each other, to threaten to kill everybody if we can't maintain a status quo through economics, right? And so life's already happening, guys. And when they write things into books and they turn them into magical creatures in your heads to sit there and look at somebody like me and say, you're so cocky and arrogant, Jesus was better than you. And like I tell people, yeah, but I'm better than you. Okay. Jesus was better than me? He doesn't tell me that, but you do. Jesus tells me, when you're done with this, people are going to love you as much as they love me, and then they're finally going to love me. Like, that's cool, Jesus. Anything for you, that you're not here. Since you said he never said we're through. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Just do what I ask you to do, because no one else will do it, because they're selfish. Like, yeah, I didn't think that was true, but then I lived it, and I was like, okay, Jesus, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Can do, Jesus. This time, instead of turning it to a comic book at the Latter-day Saints bookstore to keep billionaires rich and paying people for their testimony for paying money for chicken held hostage by psychopaths, we can all die by radiation, and have people sit and talk to us in a building for institutionalized indoctrination, for incarceration, mentally, physically, and psychologically, and passed on to our children and tell them it's the love of Jesus Christ, right? You're funny, I know. Trust me, my sense of humor is not lost on me. Okay, do you understand? And you see women on TV that are propaganda tool bags having sex with propaganda tool bags. And they must not know who I am, because, you got all these women talking about what a man, what a mighty good man. It's like, they must not know I exist. Because the only man I know worth coming up and hugging and loving and saying, I want to have your baby, would be me, not the naughty by nature guy. I did your friend because I'm naughty by nature, not because I hate you. A loaded dick that gets women pregnant so they can sign up for programs to incarcerate, indoctrinate, and dictate and legislate, and then be on TV saying, we need more money. You need the Lord's Prayer, you stupid cunt. Who do you think you are, Madam Curie? Threatening to blow us all up with nuclear weapons if you can't maintain a status quo through economic conflict and use technology to perpetuate the propaganda toolbagism? Okay, I'm going to load this up. You don't like it? Too damn bad! Fill up them holes, right?